tuned in live to the Fly Sports and Entertainment Podcast in all the U.S. This is statlinesmatter. I am your host, Mark E. Stewart. This is my partner, as always, Mr. Rob Hunter Jr.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Hey, he pointed to the camera.
I'm pointing to the cameras out there.
70s black exploitation film, like.
Believe it.
Like, hey, what's up, ladies?
Hey, the camera is your friend.
What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm happy to be in the place. It's been an interesting week.
It has been.
I'm sure we're gonna go over not everything. But we're gonna go over the stuff that matters.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we're gonna flow with it freely. Actually, in our last episode, we didn't get an opportunity to acknowledge the passing of a artistic and creative legend, Mr. Virgil Abloh, and I want to just take a minute to acknowledge him, acknowledge his life and his passing.
Yes,
we lost him far too early at the age of 41.
41 years old. You know, the interesting thing about that is I was reading up on it. You know, nobody knew except for a select few people, right? Kanye knew.
Yeah.
Where they were obviously really close, and that relationship has been well documented. But he died the same way as Chadwick Boseman, privately, right? Nobody knew, and then all of a sudden, you get the news alert across your phone or wherever you were, and say, "Oh, okay, man, he's gone," and you have these visions of health, seemingly. This guy's walking around. The last thing that I saw was him handing a snowboard to a legendary snowboarder that the snowboarder wanted him to design his snowboard.
Wow.
And it was on the streets of New York. He's just walking down by himself. They meet up hey, meet me at the corner, and he hands him the snowboard. But Virgil Abloh, at 41 years old, leaves behind a wife and 2 kids. Another one of those things that Kanye West, a career that he helped foster.
Right.
I believe they met at a print shop in Chicago back in 2008. They fostered a relationship via his deal with a shoe deal with Louis Vuitton. Took him over there in 2009, and then they started the internship at Fendi together, where they were making $500 a month.
There you go.
$500 a month for 6 months, and
that's what I was making when I first started in the music.
Made him the creative director at Donda in 2010, and he just flourished from there.
Yeah, he was a beast, and one of the guys who, even if you didn't, and I think everybody kind of knew who he was, but even if you didn't, his mark will live far beyond his 41 years, like the things that he accomplished. You can't, I always say that, they can't take your wins off the board, and he had those things, and he was super accomplished, and man, you know what, he will be missed.
Big Ten guy.
Oh yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
Well, he went to Wisconsin.
He went to Wisconsin?
Went to Wisconsin, studied civil engineering, and got an architecture degree from Illinois Tech.
Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely a Midwest guy, and people try to say Rockford is Chicago, but it ain't.
Well, how far is it away?
It's 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's not Chicago.
Maybe less, maybe a little bit less.
But it's not metro, like it ain't like Alpha.
Nah, it's not. It's definitely not. Like if you're in Rockford, you're not going to the city.
So
you never go to the city.
So it makes his ascent that much more unique.
Well, eventually you find, because it is Chicago is the center, and he's relatively close to Milwaukee too.
So black folks is not trying to break it. They're not going to Rockford to try to make it.
No.
Okay.
So he made it.
They're leaving Rockford.
Yeah, to his credit, he made it out.
Okay. All right. So so if anybody had any bright ideas, be like, oh, he was from Rockford. We got to go to Rockford.
Nah, don't go up there looking for that.
He didn't get on there.
Yeah. Also, I believe in that same week, on a lighter note, was the versus battle between your boys 3-6. Wait, who's more your boy, 3-6 Mafia or Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Okay,
because that's all your vibe.
All right, so more my boys. Okay, I gotta shout out probably Bone then, because that's one of the groups that I worked with early in the record business. To how I kind of got to you guys.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some interning for Relativity, who obviously distributed Ruthless Records, who they were signed to Eazy-E, and got my first check from Eazy-E through you guys on Forbidden.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it would have to be them, because every time they came in town, I was always at the shows, meeting them at the hotel. So just from a from a first hand. Yeah,
right,
it's them. But as far as like the records are concerned, it's easily 3-6, and that was evident in the versus battle.
Now, okay, now I gotta when we talked about this in our pre-production, and you brought up, I mess with 3-6. Now, last week you said right here, if it have anything to do with the devil, I don't mess with it.
This is true.
Now I want you to explain to our listeners how last week you was telling Satan to get behind you.
Yeah.
And then this week you welcoming 3-6 Mafia in the front door.
I can't. I don't know. It's just they hard, and that's it. You know. I mean, I can't resolve that. Okay. I'll do this. I can, because they never really glorified Satan in their music. From a overt standpoint,
Neither does
he giving the devil a daggone laugh. He did devil shoes with the pentagram with real human
shoes.
blood.
That's not music.
That's the devil.
But
he creating.
But that's shoes.
The upside down cross hanging off the Air Max. I mean, upside down star.
That's just the shoes.
No, it's in human blood inside the shoe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's
I'm not getting those.
That's your boy Montero.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and he giving the devil a lap dance.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, I'm not doing this 3-6. I mean, they did slop on my knob. I can get with that. I like that, because that's what I be wanting to happen to me. Wow. I don't want to get a devil no lap dance.
No.
And I don't want him to give me one. No. I don't want nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, like I need my Satan dressed up in a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Like a girl, like I need mine dressed up as Hennessy. I need mine dressed up, you know what I'm saying, as pornography. I don't need like overt Satan. I'm gonna evade that, like Gail says.
That's so funny. I just again want to go on record and say it. I just literally think he was trying to get everybody's attention.
But even if you go, I'm gonna play with the devil to get y'all's attention. Like that, to me, that's a bridge too far.
Fair enough.
I'm a country boy, so the devil, like he literally met the devil at the crossroads and made a deal, and his career went off. I don't know if y'all seen Old Brother We're Out There, but that's part of that whole scene with the guy playing a guitar. Anyway,
funny.
Point it.
That's absolutely funny. I think I didn't really get into too much of the to the versus battle. It wasn't musically. It just didn't get there for me. Although I will say,
did you see any other highlights?
Yeah, well, I saw the highlights when they got to, was it Busy Bone?
Did you see Terrence Howard come out and do?
Yes.
Man, that was.
I saw all that was lit. Stuff afterwards. Like
that was.
I didn't have to do that to me, man. I was just trying to help, man.
Hey, when they brought, I was like, it's over with. It's. I mean, and it really lets you know, like, okay, so Bone they should have went up against an R&B group or something. Like all their hits is slow. Even Crossroads, which was a massive record, it doesn't. If you ever, so if any artist, if you planning on doing a versus battle, you got to realize this now without COVID, and people can actually. It's crowd based. You have to get the crowd hype, and 3-6 has nothing but those records.
Well, one of my favorite records is favorite rap records, hip hop records is Bands to Make a Dance. Like, and that record is so nasty. Like I'm not squeamish in any way, but you can't play that. Like you feel funny playing that around your most ratchet friends.
Rubber off, I'm stretching that.
Yeah, no, like
whoa.
It's like, whoa, bro. Any limits to any of this? Nah, but I will say this too about Bone Thugs and Harmony. I want to shout out to them because they let us use one of their samples first of the month. We sampled in my artist MKXYZ out on RZ3 Recordings /Epic Records and tape.
Stream
that right now. No, shameless plug. Also want to shout out to Saucedo. He's out his records in the stores on the virtual stores. I'm old school, and we just dropped IMO out to UK yesterday. RZ3 Recordings in the building, so I had to do that. But we did sample first of the month on MK's new.
And I helped promote that record again. So okay, quick small story. I know we're running over here. So when I got the material for Bone's first album, I forgot the name. Well, the first one was an EP, which was established in, I believe, East 99, but the second one with Crossroads on it and all of that. Yeah. So I got like all these stickers and I got all this promo material, right? Tapes and CDs at the time. And so I was going to the little community college called the CAB back then. So I would get there early in the morning and I would just start plastering Bone stickers, and they were big, 8x10. I would put them all over in the bathrooms, all in the girls' bathroom. I go in there real quick, and the boys' bathroom, and so the janitor, had this vexed look. Hey, you know we've been putting up all them stickers. Like, every morning I got to come in and take them down. It take me 15 minutes for one damn sticker. I'm like, nah, hey, my backpack was full of those stickers. I was like, nah, I have no idea, sir. But the thing was, it was only me and him in the school at the time. Wow. And he knew it was me. I was like, oh, sir, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know, but I'll let you know. If I see someone, I'm going to report it.
Yo.
So he was mad disgruntled. Yeah, he was the quintessential janitor with all the keys.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And he had to be like in his 60s. Hey, you said I put up all them stickers?
I'm sure he was mad.
Like, it take me 15 minutes for one damn sticker.
Yeah, like if you've been in janitorial work, you probably been there for a minute. So he was just, his disposition was in a certain space already.
Yeah, and it was like and it was like 6:58 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you could be going into the best job at 6:58 in the morning and have that exact disposition.
And at that time, I had probably put up like 13 stickers.
Awful. I'd have been so upset. I want to talk about real quick your boy. See, actually, we haven't had a chance to talk about this, so this is good that we can do this right here. I have a real issue with these YouTube boxers, like these Jake Pauls, and now you got these guys that are Darren Williams is fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Who is that?
From the NBA, ex-NBA player.
Darren Williams?
Went to Illinois, University of Illinois, played for Utah.
Deron?
Yeah, Deron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it's Darren.
Derron.
Yeah.
He was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
he could play. He boxing?
He boxing somebody. He boxing like Frank Gore or somebody like that. Like dead ass.
Well, I mean, yeah, all the sports is entertainment, you know.
Yeah,
so.
but okay, that's okay. So give me your how you see it, because I feel like they're ruining the sweet science, but they're getting money. Jake Paul and
and I think
his brother or whoever, they're getting money, man.
I think for me, like just stepping back and analyzing it, just from I have a kid who's into sports and trying to figure out why do certain athletes have more following than the other one. Why, like, you know, you take Evander Holyfield, who was a better champion, beat better fighters than Mike Tyson, but he's nowhere near as popular. And it's what is your charisma like? Do you have any? You know, are you able to get people engaged away from what it is you actually do? Mike Tyson was able to do that. Tim Tebow was able to do that. Floyd Mayweather is able to do that. So if you're able to draw a crowd, you got, you know, Floyd fighting, who's it, Logan Paul. You got Floyd fighting Conor McGregor, who, I mean, both of these guys, I mean, Conor McGregor's nothing special. I mean, maybe he was, I don't know what he was doing in the MMA. I know he ain't really knocked that many people out in his MMA fight.
But at least that was a legitimate career.
But the point I'm making is their personalities, like Conor McGregor, I would say is bigger than Khabib.
Yeah. I mean, but Conor McGregor's a household name.
So it's who? Yeah, he's got the whiskeys and whatnot.
Yeah, no, he's serious.
So the whiskeys, he's got one whiskey anyway. But
all the money he get money.
It feel like he got multiple whiskeys. Yeah.
He got drank. You don't even call it when you get that money. He drank.
I got that drink for your ass. So my point is that it's just. What are those personalities like? Like Mike Tyson legitimately never beat a great opponent.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Never beat a great. Every time he met
a hater.
A great opponent, he got waxed every time.
Every single time.
So, but you look at Mike. He's still. Is he the most popular fighter in history outside of maybe Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, I think he's second.
So, and never beat a great champion.
No.
And look at Muhammad Ali had both. He had style and substance.
100%.
So if you can marry both. So my point is okay, so taking it back to the original question, which is the YouTube question, I think it's all about what you choose to engage in, to ante up for. If you think that that's going to be a great fight, then, you know, that's for you. I think it's, you know what, I think it's great because sports, entertainment, sports in particular is part of the entertainment buffet.
Right.
That's what it is. So if you don't want to, like, your thing may be music. Right. It may not be. If you like sports, then your thing may be, you know, women's gymnastics.
Right.
It may be NBA. It could be all of those things. This is another opportunity for people who follow. I don't know who's following Darren Williams. But if you find that interesting,
he's obviously trying to get his shine.
If you find
I'm shining.
Yeah, it's weird though. It's weird. And why is Frank Gore doing? Man, you got 2 knee surgeries. You went on ahead and you ran 3 knee surgeries. You had a great NFL career. Like what you doing fighting?
Man, I don't.
And why are you fighting him?
That bread. I guess if you can
it'd be fire if he would fight like another Florida State legend. That would be
Miami,
fire.
Florida. Yeah, that would be dope.
Miami, Florida, and then bring out all of you, and then bring out like Prime show up, and then they start side betting, like, that would be lit. But all that other stuff.
I have some real trouble with it, but I'm coming around, and I do respect your take on it, and people have told me similar things. I'm just like, man, y'all are just killing. I like real boxing, but it's almost like real boxing is taking a backseat to MMA.
Yeah.
And now this. I think this is, and like, you got Jake Paul, calling Tyson Fury's brother. Tommy Fury?
Tommy Fury, yeah.
Yeah, and so they beefing and going back and forth.
Is mixed. His mom's from Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See,
so
I don't know nothing.
So that's his half brother. So his brother Tommy is undefeated, 7-0, 4 knockouts. So this will probably be the closest to a legitimate fight. Well, he fought Tyrone Woodley, but this is actually a boxer.
He fought Tyrone Willingham?
Woodley.
Oh, okay. I fight Tyrone Willingham.
We interviewed him at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he had a chest infection. He broke his rib. He canceled the fight. Jake Paul said him and his brother Tyson have vaginitis. They're scared. He doesn't believe that. I
don't even know what that is.
Apparently, it's a thing. Like when I typed it in, Google finished it. Now, I ain't look up the definition. I just knew that he meant it in a derogatory way, which is like I didn't need to know what it actually was.
It was like you used a lot of big words.
Yeah, like that's a thing.
But I'm gonna take it as a sign of disrespect.
Because like vagin already sound bad, but vaginitis, like itis, any itis.
Well, vagin don't sound bad until you slap itis on the end.
But what's good about vagin?
Because
in what way would it ever be good?
The root word is vagina, which is positive.
Yeah, vagina is all positive.
Yeah, so, and then you add itis, but would you and now I go left.
But I can't go with vagin. She gave me that vagin?
No.
That sounds like she gave you something. Nice.
Yeah, she gave you something.
She gave you that vagin.
She gave you something.
Well, you know what? I'll take vagin. If she said, I'm going to give you this vagin, I'll take that.
But not with the itis.
Nah.
Yeah, let's hold the itis.
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it just... But he replaced him with Tyrone Woodley. So Tyrone Woodley's getting his rematch, what he really, 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 really wanted. He replaced him with Tyrone Woodley, which Jake Paul won that in a split decision.
See, you're talking about this like this is legitimate. This is all illegitimate.
Okay. Will this tickle your fancy? Jake Paul has offered Tyrone Woodley a $500,000 knockout bonus if he can knock him out.
I saw that.
I mean that's
real bread.
That's real bread, and that's ending up
motivation,
the competitive level, the competition. So
whatever. But you know what's funny? You said I thought you said Tyrone Willingham.
And we're talking about this and not Javante Tank David, who just fought and won.
But he fought on a Sunday.
I know. But I was like, what is that?
Like Saturday night is boxing.
Well, and it's football on Sunday.
Yeah, it's
why
football
you doing
on Saturday,
that?
But you look for it.
Yes.
On Sunday, you still look. I mean, on Saturday.
The fight start. This the fight time, Floyd and team. You know this better. It's Saturday night at around 11:30.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah. Don't be doing on the Sabbath.
Yeah, come on, quit playing. That's why, I didn't watch the fight. I don't know where it came on. I just out of defiance.
And the fight was in Atlanta, wasn't it? They had it here.
Somebody called me and said, "Hey, by the way, you know this fight is happening."
Yeah, and then there was no promotion. Don't feel like
like who promoted that?
I think it was the money team. Ain't he signed to Floyd now?
Floyd must have kept all the promotion money. didn't put it into the promoting of the fight. Well, you know what fight I would want? I would like to fight Ty Willingham. And you know I'd fight him in a cage match.
He rescued your program.
He rescued it from nothing.
From George O'Leary's embarrassment.
Whatever. Like nobody even knows. George O'Leary went away and haven't been.
Yeah, because Tyrone Willingham helped it go away fast when he started out with 8-game winning streak, I think.
It's so funny how that was so overblown at that time when you think about. So let's reset.
And he became Ty.
Let's
when he was Tyrone when he first got there. He started winning. He became Ty.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not even going to address this. I'm gonna take this into a positive area with the hiring of the first African American coach at the University of Notre Dame, Mr. Marcus Freeman. We real excited to have you. Ty did not count. We gonna pretend like Tyrone, whatever his mama named him, like whatever that era was a disaster.
Hey, let me tell you,
ND in the place to be. We back. We got a real coach, real
Tyrone
recruiter.
is black as it gets, and he was on your sideline.
Ruining recruiting.
He wasn't that great of a recruiter.
Huh?
He wasn't that great of a recruiter.
No, he was awful.
He wasn't that great.
He inherited a top 10 class, which was 8, and then we dropped the next year to 19, and then the year he got fired, we were 37. We haven't been out of the top 15 since he left.
Well, and you said Brian Kelly is lazy though.
Yeah, but we still had top 10 recruiting class.
That could have BK though.
No, BK saved the program. The original person who saved the program was Charlie White.
Charlie was
the one who started
Charlie was a hella fire recruiter.
He could recruit because he just go in there and put his rings down, and that was
like, oh, okay, then run it. You know what they do. And
we can coach them.
We can edit this out if y'all want. Okay, so Isaiah. Oh, sorry. So what Alabama does to get basketball players is they bring in Nick Saban.
I'm sure.
So they ain't like they go play football when they bring in Nick.
Because Nick is a star. Like in Tuscaloosa, he's a star. He runs the state. We talked about it.
But like, what is Nick? What? I mean, he gonna come coach a basketball team? Like,
no, but what you do is you bring out.
You try to wild,
stars.
yeah.
It's a wild factor.
So they gonna bring in. They gonna bring in Joe Namath.
Georgia need to bring in.
I told you Georgia need to bring in the rappers.
No, Georgia Tech. If Georgia Tech want to get back, because Georgia Tech is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
If they want to get popping, bring in Quavo. Then bring in all
Gucci,
the dudes.
Bring in
Gucci, all the boys.
Air Lad one on.
And then all of a sudden, Georgia Tech would mean something.
And they need to be on the sidelines with the little Letterman jackets on.
100%. Like drinking the Gatorade from the boys.
Yeah.
Like when the boy need a Gatorade, they can't even get none because Quavo got it. That's what needs to happen.
The whole group in line. Quavo,
Offset, take off.
they just in like, hey, hurry up. and this players
the quarterback needs something. No, man. No, I'm very all seriousness, man. I'm really excited because we talked about this in our last podcast. Who would be the coach? Which way would we go? And I'm really, really happy that Father Jenkins, Jack Swarbrick.
Is Father Jenkins black?
No. His Father Jenkins does sound like a black.
He sounds super black.
No, he's very much a priest.
So his family owned the Jenkins, the black Jenkins.
Of course, all of all of our names.
Yeah, but I mean that's direct. You know what I'm saying? Like Father Jenkins, like damn.
It's all direct. Ain't none of these our names.
You know what I mean? All right, so go ahead. So I ain't know y'all had. Damn, I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, Father Jenkins is black.
Father Jenkins is not black.
But
Father Jenkins, Jack Swarbrick, they moved swiftly and I believe correctly in hiring this dynamic young coach from Dayton, Ohio. He is black and Korean.
Shout out to the Dayton family.
Yeah, but he's a family man, 35 years old, 6 kids. Just a real, he was a 5-star recruit coming out.
Went to Ohio State.
And if it wasn't for the discovery of an enlarged heart, he probably would have had a nice NFL career with the Bears. So welcome to South Bend.
Yeah, seriously, welcome. I'm over the moon.
And anything you need from me, I know we don't really do the whole Luke, proximity, but I would be the Luke to Notre Dame.
He's talking about Luke Skywalker for those that are uninitiated. How Luke had
like that Luke.
So did you hear that he actually initially accepted the defensive coordinator position at LSU? No,
that's not. I knew you were going to come in with that bullshit. He did not.
He said, anything. But he said, I need to talk to my wife. He said,
I need to talk to my wife, which is everybody knows is the universal excuse for I ain't doing that, but let me go blame it on my wife while I come up with the excuse. He knew good and well, because here's the thing, context. This man had other offers. He had other offers that came, head coaching offers. So why would you immediately jump and take a coordinating position that you turned down the year before?
It wasn't at LSU though.
It was at LSU.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
All right.
Come on, man. Get your information together. Come on,
Hey, y'all Google that. I think he got me on that right now.
Why would I not know this?
I don't know. I just felt like being a contrarian in that moment.
No, he was up for the LSU job last year. He turned it down, took Notre Dame. So why would you in one season go back?
Because he liked BK, Brian Kelly. That's why he left. That's why he left Cincinnati. Because he liked Brian Kelly.
He left Cincinnati because Notre Dame
and Brian Kelly had a relationship.
Yes, Brian Kelly hired him.
So that's why. So yeah, but anyway, no.
But he got the gig. I mean, he ascended as fast as anybody up the coaching ranks that I've ever seen. In the realm of the Lane Kiffin.
He did.
Stuff like that. But I just think he'll ultimately have a better go of it because I think when you're the coach of Notre Dame, yes, there's plenty of demands on it. And I'm concerned that it's not overwhelming to him. I want him to stay focused on the things that are happening on the field and get someone else to handle the bureaucracy of what being an ND coach is.
He actually admitted it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
He said it is. He said, but he tries to break it down into smaller goals every day, which I think for me.
We ask a lot of our coach.
For me, I find that candor refreshing.
Yeah.
For him to say, because I mean, 35 years old.
I think he was super honest about a lot of things, almost painfully obvious.
Yeah,
honest on Sunday.
So maybe I mean this approach. It's clear that they once he got wind of Brian Kelly taking a job at LSU, Notre Dame moved pretty fast,
faster than they ever have,
and I think that's obviously telling to his brand. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I mean, he has a couple of NFL offers. They were coordinator offers, but yeah, man, congratulations to you.
Yeah, man, super
and
excited.
Congratulations to black people in coaching.
Yeah, I mean, especially at the collegiate level, and especially in one of the blue bloods and one of the top 5 programs in the country.
That endowment's something serious right there.
Yeah, nah, for real. In talking about college football, let's recap a little bit. We talked a little bit about when we talked last. We were going into the championship games. Mm-hmm. And so we had our predictions, how we thought they were going to go. But before we predicted the games, we had sort of a discussion about what we thought, how things would play out, not just the result, but like what the games would be like. We got to start with Alabama, Georgia, because it's interesting in that you were right about your assessment of the game, but it was against your team. Now that you've seen the game play out and we know what the result is, how do you feel about that result? And does it change your original statement that you think you win in the rematch?
No, it doesn't. So for those, if you didn't listen to the last podcast, I thought that Georgia was going to lose the game. I'm a Georgia fan. I told everybody that would listen to me, which normally not that many people, but bet Alabama money line, because Nick Saban I felt normally I don't take a whole lot of solace but when they played the clip with him talking about all the media basically saying how bad they were. Normally that's something that Nick, he's very rarely in that spot. Normally the media is telling his team how great they are. And so that week, I said that he can actually turn on he could tell his team to turn on the radio, turn on the television, listen to everybody telling you how bad you're going to lose and what you can't do. So the rat poison, as everybody knows what it is now, was actually, he said
it was yummy.
He did. He said
the rat poison was yummy,
and it served them well.
But I don't think the game had anything to do with I still don't think the game had to do with whose motivation. Like there was enough on the line for both teams.
Correct.
I think one team was better than the other team.
Well, okay, so with sports in particular, most of the time, particularly when you have similar talent, it's mental. And if you can play, and if your team is more motivated, because Alabama was playing to stay in the playoffs. If they lose that game, they're out. Georgia was basically, in effect, barring something unexpected, was going to be still in it whether they lost the game or not. They lost the game, they're still in it. So for me, I thought that Alabama had a lot more to play for, not only the SEC title, but the pundits telling them what they wasn't going to do, and the opportunity to be in the playoffs for 7 out of 8 years. Like, Since they started the college football playoffs, it's been 8 years. They've been in that mug 7 years. So, I mean, that was my take on it. Now going into the rematch, because they're going to beat Michigan. And I believe that Georgia will have the same edge that Alabama had coming in. And I think Georgia actually wins that game.
So you think this is all about motivation? You think it's just who's ever the most
yes.
What you saw on the field didn't concern you that they blocked y'all?
No, because in the second,
blocked y'all. Nobody blocked y'all all season, and they did, and they don't even have a good O-line.
In that second half, in the second quarter is where they won the game. They scored 24 points in the second quarter, and they scored one more touchdown, I believe, the whole game on the offensive side.
Yeah.
So the adjustment was seemingly made at halftime. The problem was that I think we had dug ourselves a hole so deep that we couldn't run the ball because we were playing catch up. Well, we couldn't stick with the run game, and you're forcing Bennett to, and to his credit, 340 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks though.
Yeah.
So he still played well. But But I think that second quarter, which Georgia hadn't given up over 17 points in an entire game, they give up 24 in that quarter. And, Georgia came out to a 10-point lead in the first quarter. But, shout out to just Alabama, Bryce Young. I believe it was 421 yards passing, 461 total yards of offense. They were both SEC championship records. Going into the next. Now, here's another thing, though. I think that I would take. Okay, so if you don't know, Alabama's playing Cincinnati in the 3:30 game on New Year's Eve. That's the semifinal. They're favored by 14 points. I would take Cincinnati in that because I feel like, first of all, I don't necessarily know. Alabama may find it a little bit harder to get up for Cincinnati, and I think Cincinnati is, again, the mental thing. So I think Alabama wins the game, but I don't think they cover.
You put a lot on motivation.
Yes, because because you look at if they're similarly talented, then particularly when we're talking about Georgia, Alabama. Yeah. But I think Alabama could be looking ahead.
But I think the big difference.
That's why I think those 14 points, that's a lot.
Well, I think
this is a betting. I'm turning this into a betting.
Well, I think here's my take on it. And I know we were going to talk about all the games, but we'll just sort of narrow it down to Georgia, Alabama. I think there was a coaching mismatch. I think that Kirby is showing himself to not be a big game coach. He doesn't have his teams ready. Now, you call it motivation, you call it whatever, but coaches get paid a lot of money to get their guys ready. And I think that there was plenty of motivation. Georgia Bulldogs haven't won a title in going on 41 years. I think there's plenty of motivation for them to win that game and get Alabama out of that tournament. And for him to not coach from that or not get his guys up, I think he's going to live to regret that. But this was the best opportunity for Georgia to win of all the years that they sort of been knocking at the door. This is the best one, but I think it went out the door when they couldn't get Alabama out the
So with him having Nick Saban down double digits in the every game they've played, you think that there's a coaching mismatch?
I think it's an absolute coaching mismatch.
So to have him down, because that's not a mismatch when you're down by double digit points.
You don't get to walk off the field when you get up. It ain't.
Well, but
like
it's not a complete blow. It took a Hail Mary to beat him in 20.
You always call that a Hail Mary. It wasn't a Hail Mary.
It was. You're circling back like Tecmo Bowl and you just hurl the ball up there. That wasn't a play.
That's not it was a play.
Well, it's not a play. If you look at that play again, he was under duress. He was under duress.
First of all,
and he was circling. It was worse than a Hail Mary because he's just like he's serpentining back.
Whatever you need to self-soothe.
No, that's
whatever you need to self-soothe.
That's the play.
A Hail Mary is I threw a ball up and you create a 50-50
it's worse than a Hail Mary.
He hit a man in stride. He hit an NFL quarterback, hit an NFL wide receiver in stride on whoever was
on a broken play.
It wasn't a broken play.
That's not the play. That's not. Yeah, he was circling. He was serpentining back.
It wasn't like that wasn't the route.
It's a go route. That's a Hail Mary route, right?
No, it's a streak.
So streaks ain't on a Hail Mary.
A streak is the same route, but a Hail Mary is by definition a Hail Mary. I'm hoping that my guy comes down in an equal pass. Your man wasn't even in the contention to catch the ball.
So you're hoping
it wasn't a jump ball.
He was hoping
it wasn't a jump ball. It wasn't even close.
So that's how they drew it up.
Well, obviously that was the play. If it was blocked, he would have still. If they would have blocked the guy who put pressure, he still would have got your corner. Still got toasted.
Malcolm,
it would have been an easier throw.
Ain't nobody seen Malcolm Parrish since.
But anyway, the point being is this. I think because you don't get to run off the field if you go up 2 touchdowns.
But that proves that it's not a coaching mismatch to have him down at halftime in every game.
You know why it's a mismatch? Is because
he won the game, so now it's a mismatch.
Because every time they play, it's the same result.
I don't think it's a mismatch.
The adjustments are not being made well enough.
And I don't think Nick feels it's a mismatch either.
Well, of course. Why would Nick feel anything? He continue to stump y'all out. Like he don't need to feel anything. Like I just think at some point Georgia needs to step up and win the game when they show up. I don't even know if it's going to happen against Michigan, but I don't think – I put it this way. If they get back to the championship, I'm not betting on them. I bet on them this weekend. I wouldn't do it again.
Nick, Michigan is just a mismatch. I mean, Michigan averaged 6 yards a carry against Iowa. They ain't going to average that against Georgia. K. McNamara's only thrown over 200 yards 4 times this season. They're going to need him to do a lot. He ain't no Bryce Young. He's only thrown 16 touchdowns.
Of course not.
So it's just it's style. If you want to go to styles make fights, Michigan, I would take Georgia and the points. And
Michigan's offensive line is significantly better than the one that shut your defensive line down.
In that second quarter, because they found pressure on Bryce Young throughout the whole second half. But they're not going to average 6.5 yards a carry.
And we'll get into that when we get closer to that, because we're like more or less
3
a month
weeks?
away,
Yeah.
3 weeks from that. So we'll get into breaking that game down. Let's
I got ahead of myself.
No. Listen, it should feel personal. It should feel personal. It's personal. I don't think it's personal enough for Georgia fans. I think they okay with being second fiddle to Bama. I said it.
I don't know.
I think y'all okay. I think y'all okay.
I don't know who shares that sentiment.
I think y'all
you just made that up.
I think y'all love the SEC East titles, hang them banners. That's what I feel.
Hey, the last word goes to this guy.
Point me. NBA. Let's talk about your man. Well, let's talk about Stephen A. We don't really talk about Stephen A. on this show. I like Stephen A. enough, but I think he's absolutely the face of ESPN. But he said something. He's been very critical. And actually now, since we originally sort of put this on the table for topics, Charles Barkley. Did you see Charles Barkley's comments?
I reject Charles Barkley's comments.
Well,
as a rule.
Yeah, I am not a Charles Barkley guy at all, but both of them have been very critical of the Lakers. Charles was going in on Anthony Davis, saying this is basically, Charles Barkley said this is all Anthony Davis' fault. Everything that's going on in LA is all Anthony Davis' fault. Stephen A. is saying the Lakers are
on the verge
of irrelevance and all of that. And I think a lot of that is hyperbole. And let me reset the record. I'm a Laker hater.
You're not a Laker. You're a LeBron hater.
More specific. Okay, that's facts. That is absolute facts. I am not a fan of LeBron's
but you don't hate the Lakers
on-court career. And it wasn't until he showed up in a Laker uniform that I had an issue with Lakers. So in all fairness. But I'd be rooting for them to lose because I do that. But now people are saying some of the same things that I was saying in the offseason when they put this roster together that I didn't think would work. And it's even last night they had a big lead. Did you watch the game?
I watched till halftime.
They opened up a big lead and they still managed to they don't close out real well.
They closed out the second half real well.
Yeah, but it's like they still give up. Like they had leads in the game and they would let teams.
But they won by like what, 15?
Yeah, they won by 15. But there were times when they were up like 20 something.
Oh, I didn't know that. But I do know that I think either they were up 5 or down 5 at halftime.
Yeah, it was up 5.
They were up 5, and what I've seen in recent last couple of games, minus I forget the game that was, but it seemed like they've been making the second half defensive adjustments. The first half they come out looking like any the last place defensive team, and then in the second half they've been able to make those adjustments. I watched Stephen A's comments. I actually agree with him to a point, because he is right in the broad sense of his narrative. Because we've seen teams in the past try to load up on old veterans past their prime, and it just ends up looking goofy.
Which ones are the guys that you think on the team are clearly past their prime?
Anybody that's past 15 years, year 15, right? I mean, you got Melo, who's clearly past his prime. He's a bench player who comes in. He didn't have a great game last night. LeBron's clearly past his prime, even though he scored 30 last night. I mean, he's not the LeBron that was in Miami and those.
Well, I mean, I think they're in an advanced age, but I don't think any of these guys are.
You think
so far past their prime production?
So are you saying that LeBron is in his prime?
No. I'm saying no. I'll be clear on what I'm saying.
I think AD is.
I think he's
is closest to their prime.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in years.
That's how you measure it.
No, you measure it in production.
And 19.
But you measure it in production.
Like you measure production, athleticism,
LeBron's production,
and particularly
is
suffering,
not off.
But it's suffering on the defensive end, though. On the defensive 100%. End, he's way past.
And he's taking more threes.
He's taking more.
Yeah.
Well,
40% of his shots are from the three.
But I think, though, to his credit, that it's kind of like metamorphosis. His game is metamorphosizing into kind of like what Mike and Kobe were doing later in their career.
With the turnaround.
You have to develop that jump shot in order so that you don't have to. So in the fourth quarter, if you do have to go in there and get a bucket, you got some.
You got something to.
So and I noticed that particularly in the Indiana game where they won in overtime, he had a lot of amazing deep threes. And okay, he's been working. I mean, I know he's been, but seemingly he's been putting more of a focus on it. But where Stephen A, he is correct, because I mean, when you look at the record, I think they're one game above 500.
Yeah.
But where I have to jump off that boat a little bit is that as long as if that team is running out their three guys, and you got to be healthy, I think that I will reserve the ringing the alarm, we got to fire Frank Vogel, abandon ship until if they stay healthy, then I believe that they have a shot. Now, they have dropped. Did you know that the Nets are still favored from Vegas standpoint? They're still an odds-on favorite to win the championship, even with Golden State playing as well. I was surprised to see that. And it's not just, it's every sports book.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's better. The betting lines are always designed to get people to lay the money down.
Action, that's true.
It's not necessarily an indication of what they believe will happen.
So how do you feel? And you know what it told me though. After I just asked you a question and I cut you off. Sorry. What it told me though was I think that they believe that Kyrie's coming back.
Well, I mean, he's not off the team.
No, he's not. But I mean, you've heard nothing about him like softening his stance on getting vaccinated.
I don't think he's going to soften his stance at all.
So how do you see that playing out?
Because
I don't
things
think
can change.
I don't think they win.
Things can change in the world.
I've seen that from time to time.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of what the mandates are in the state.
Yeah.
They can change, and that would open up for him to be able to play. And the reality of it is the team can access him when they feel like it relative to road games.
Facts.
So
they
just made a conscious decision to one of the things that's interesting about Brooklyn though, top 3 in defense.
Yes. And if Kyrie comes back, that's obviously going to drop.
Yeah.
So you're getting...
And they're playing more defensive lineups.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you something. We didn't plan on talking about this, but Memphis is a much better defensive team without Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. But they're still up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So when you look at... So you remember... No. When he's in there, they're bottom 3. They are bottom 3.
How long has he been out?
He's been out like not long, been out like 5 or 6 games.
So just in the 5 or 6 games, that's what's pushed him into. I think they're top 6, top 5, top 6.
Now you make me wish I would have brought my laptop, but I know this because I target that defense in DFS when he's playing.
Yeah.
And so what you can do is you can obviously use the sample size. You can change it from 5 games to 6 games.
Yeah.
So you look and so I got my ass caught in the blender targeting them when he got hurt.
Yeah.
And I mean, they came out and held, holding teams under 100 points for 4 straight games. So anyway, point is, sorry. So Kyrie want to come back. You're trading a little bit you're trading a lot of defense for a lot of offense.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would do?
Absolutely. Because I think once you get into...
What, they second in the East right now, or are they first?
Third.
Brooklyn's third?
No, they're first in the East.
No, I'm talking about, in the standing.
Yeah,
the
third
first.
in defense.
Yeah, so, I mean, it can't get a whole lot better than more first.
Well, I think where they've struggled against good teams is in scoring punch because Harden's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but, I mean, he normally does. I think that Harden...
I think his perimeter shot is deserting.
Starts to play a lot better like he did in the second half of the season. I think those veteran teams, like I think LeBron comes on, I think Harden comes on, and then it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors look like when Klay comes back.
Yeah, because as we talked about last week, they gotta work him back in.
Man, the NBA for me is just the best for plots night in, night out.
Yeah.
You look at like last night's slate for when y'all see this. Last night's slate will have been Tuesday night. It was only 3 games. But you still had Boston, L.A.
Yeah.
You had Brooklyn. Brooklyn played last night.
Yeah.
Who did Brooklyn play?
Dallas.
Brooklyn played Dallas. You still had like games that were pretty. If you're an NBA fan, must see. I mean, you want to see Luka
versus Durant.
Yeah, you want to see Tatum. You want to see LeBron. So anyway.
Yeah. No, it was last night I watched both games actually, front to back, and enjoyed. I kind of checked out of when it became clear that the Lakers were going to win.
There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Let me go ahead and see this Golden Girls.
I literally started watching a Christmas film or something. after that. I want to shout out my Bulls real quick. Sorry about that. I want to shout out my Bulls real quick. Had an unbelievable win on Monday against Denver. At home, down 4 guys, down DeRozan, down Javonte Green, down Caruso, and down one other guy.
They just down.
We were down.
But they was up.
But
they won.
Man, the guys, they battled. The guys, Levine is top 10 player, looking like an all-star again. Vucci Main had a great night. I think he put up 20, and then Lonzo stepped up and put up 20, was hitting the shot. I think Billy Donovan is doing an amazing job. But I think the resurgence of the Bulls you got to give to Arturas Karnisovas, who is our EVP of basketball operations. Cleared that roster, remade the roster, and now he doesn't get a lot of credit for this. We didn't have a first-round pick. So we ended up taking this kid, Ayo Dosunmu, from University of Illinois. I don't know how he slipped to the second round. He was a consensus All-American his second year in college. He was all Big Ten first 2 years, incoming freshman of the year, and Big Ten player, Big Ten tournament MVP. And for some reason slipped, 6'4" guard, combo guard, slipped to the second round. He's been getting important rotational minutes from the first game of the season. That doesn't happen. A second-round pick in the NBA, in the rotation immediately, got his first start in that Denver game, got 11 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 shot attempts, very efficient.
Derrick Jones stepping up too.
Derrick Jones is stepping up too. So, but I think what you're seeing in the Bulls is the ability to find those hidden gems, and what you see with the coaching is guys, in their roles.
Billy Donovan's good with young talent.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job.
The young guys, he's really good with. Maybe he goes to just college coaching pedigree a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that his ability to relate has a lot to do with that. And we're young in the sense that the team had not played together. You brought in a lot of new pieces. You got Caruso, you got DeRozan, you got Vooch, who came in the middle of last year, and now they're blending their talent with the rookies and Javonte Green. It's all new. It's playing off. Now, it's a long season. Hawks are coming on strong. Teams that started off strong are slipping. Wizards are slipping a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll let it play out.
Yeah, we gotta see how it all play out.
We gotta see how it play.
God forbid I make a prediction and be wrong.
No, we could. Shit, you gonna be wrong.
You know, we're predictors.
We
lay it on the line.
We lay it on the line. We document ourselves, and then we come back and we check it. Let's have a little fun right now. We're gonna do. If you were a fan of the show, when we were on before, we used to have a segment called Heaven or Hell, where you and I take it upon ourselves to determine who's going to heaven and who's going to hell based on their deeds. Now, we're going to switch it up a little bit this time because we're going to do the TV and movie edition of Heaven or Hell. So we're going to determine whether TV and movie characters, how they would be judged if they went to hell or heaven as their characters.
Okay. All right.
So
well, I'm excited. I'm excited.
You want me to go? You got more than me, so you go first.
Okay, all right. So
and just so y'all know, we don't tell each other what we're gonna bring.
Yeah, and this is gonna be open to the production crew too, because we always include. So Seth, you guys get the vote, okay? Seth and Jackson and Josh. Okay. So the first one that I have is Marv and Harry from Home Alone. They was trying to kidnap Kevin and rob the McAllister.
That was their names? Marv and Harry?
Yeah, they would have robbed
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, Joe Pesci.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
So were they trying to get the kid, or were they trying to break in the house?
Rob, but they knew he was there by himself.
Freaks.
They targeted the home and they knew he was there. And then he knocked on the door. He was like, "Come, we know you're in there and you're all alone." And
wait. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That's what Joe Pesci's? I think that was Harry said that. Anyway, and they tried to get him again in New York in part 2, didn't they? They didn't stop. They got out of jail and they ran up on them and they was like,
How come they
this-
weren't in jail from the first time?
They was in jail, but they got out. They got out, and then you know,
White privilege.
Kevin goof ass.
They was black. They still be in there.
Yeah, he took the wrong plane, you know, and got to New York by himself, and they found his ass.
They need to put his parents in
They
hell.
definitely
His
need to
parents
put his
is
parents in
irresponsible.
jail. So do you think they were just criminals that, you know, were just trying to rob you, or do you think that they were actually sinister enough to be sent down to hell? You think Marvin Harry go to heaven?
Trying to hit a lick. Yeah.
They were trying to hit a lick with
Trying
a
to
kid.
hit a lick
and
is not noble.
I think Kevin sooner will go to hell.
Yeah.
Because he does way more messed up.
But he's a mischievous kid.
He was brutal, though.
He was brutal. He's like psychopathic.
Kevin,
At such a young age, too.
he was trying to defend the crib.
But he was having fun with it. You could tell he liked
It developed.
If they don't run up on him, he ain't having fun with nothing. They
All right.
trying to damn.
So what is it? So
He going to hell.
I'm going to heaven.
heaven for the criminals.
Heaven for
and
the
hell
criminals?
For poor little Kevin. Y'all are funny. Okay. I'm gonna say
Kevin wasn't even a part of the question.
I think yeah, I mean they were breaking into houses, man. Go to
With
hell.
children, yeah, go to hell.
Go to hell.
And I also, well, they wasn't in here, but I think the McAllisters, the parents, need to go to some sort of just spend a little time in jail.
Parent training or
Yeah.
something. Okay, so my first one is I'm gonna go with Daryl from Coming to America.
Why would he go to hell?
Daryl was a terrible person.
Let's
Let's break it down. I'm gonna break it down.
how was
for you.
he terrible?
So the first thing, we're gonna go small to large, right?
Okay.
So he threw a shake, a strawberry shake at that. Y'all already can't trust you order strawberry shake.
He was
But
a
you
dick.
threw a strawberry shake at Akeem.
Hey, take care of this for me.
Yeah, and just threw it. And no, that was just out of pocket, right?
It was.
He took credit for the money that was given at the Black Awareness Rally that he didn't put in the basket.
He didn't actually say
But that
I
was
did. He just went.
But that was
Actually,
deceptive,
He said anything for it was deceptive.
It was very
but he
deceptive.
did not take credit.
right?
Okay. that is a little slimy.
I'm just saying.
Hey, oh no. Even more than that, when they passed the plate, he passed the
He
plate.
passed the plate,
Yeah, oh,
and it was his girl's thing.
Yeah. And why was it, if it was his girl thing, why he in like the crowd? Why he ain't like on the side backstage? So anyway,
So there's that.
there's that.
He announced his engagement in front of a crowd without actually asking
consulting.
his girl.
He asked the daddy though.
He asked the daddy, but then it's like, you know that ain't how things go no
You
more.
gonna do what we gonna tell you.
And that's what I'm saying is an indication that if you gonna just decide I'm gonna get married, then he'd be like, I'm gonna take what I want.
Yeah, hey.
You know what I want.
That's the Prince of Soul Glow. He get what he want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
see.
So okay.
Then he hid under the table when Sam Jackson robbed McDowell's.
He did. And
Right?
and Akeem had to get the mop on his ass.
Yeah, and Akeem had to step up, be a man. And then when it's at the end, he smashed his ex-girlfriend's sister.
But he was just trying to come in
But-
because it was raining. He was trying to. It was raining.
So it's
And she said, "Come on in, let's get you out of those
Well,
clothes."
because she was a whore.
She was, and I like that. I like Patrice. Hey, shout out to Patrice. Wherever you at, I'm with it.
Hey, she played the hell out of that whore role, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Cause she would finna smash Akeem. She was giving
She was gonna give it to Arsenio too.
feeling on his Johnson at the
Yeah.
Nick game up underneath the
Yeah.
coat.
On
Hey,
his bizzle.
for every girl that identifies with Patrice, man, that's what's up.
So I
Just
think
to get along,
I
right?
think
you want to
for-
invite her to the party.
I think for Daryl, it's an accumulative effect because a lot of times, because you know what happens, people think they're going to heaven for being a good person, just doing good deeds. If you do a series of bad deeds, shouldn't you go to hell?
Yeah, but that's just like, I mean,
He's done a series of bad deeds, and that was just the 2 hours that we saw him in the movie.
Facts.
We don't really know what the rest of his life looked like, but it wasn't the opposite of
but
that.
do you think it's worth being damned to hell?
If being a good person gets you in heaven, then being a bad person should get you to hell.
Okay, based on that logic, then I would have to just if that's all we're doing.
Unless
then
he
I
asks for
mean,
forgiveness.
Let's see, and I think he could have probably might have done asked for a little bit of that forgiveness, just a little bit.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm putting him up. What do y'all think? Daryl.
Daryl.
Heaven to hell. Based on his deeds.
Hell, damn.
Bitch made don't mean hell.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll say heaven, but he don't have like the A1 access. Like he just don't get to walk up on Jesus when he feel like it, and he don't get to like be like holler at Martin Luther King. Like he just like in there, but he ain't in the good part. His streets is like asphalt. They not covered in gold. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't burning. He got a curl too. So if he was in hell, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All
right. You go. Next one.
All right, Prince's daddy, Francis L. from Purple Rain. Heaven or hell?
Hell.
Hell?
Don't I keep the heat on? Just smacking? Like, come on. He was a wife beater.
What it did it for me was when she was crying and she said, "You never let me have any fun." Do you know how much of an asshole you gotta be for you to beat after beating your wife? All she want to do is have a little bit of that fun.
Yeah.
And so I was like that even in my 8-year-old self, when I saw that kind of that messed me up.
Purple Rain at 8.
It came on cable. I was like, man, they didn't take me to see it, but when it came on, man, when them lights first came on and Let's Go Crazy, I was like,
oh yeah, because I was gonna say you weren't even born. Wait, you were like 6.
Yeah, I was 6,
6
so,
or 7.
So I didn't go actually to the movie, but when it came on at HBO, I was all in. Especially when he had Apollonia on that bed, boy. But the point is though, but I think he was troubled though. He was a frustrated musician, you know what I mean? And he did keep the heat on. You get
that's not. Let's move on. I'm not even gonna let you go there. I'm not even gonna let you go where you about to go.
Just saying, it's hard for a black man to keep the heat on in Minnesota. That's all.
But that is not.
It's cold as hell up there.
It is.
If you manage to keep the heat on,
you can't.
Intermittent heat is bad,
but you
in
can't
Minnesota.
Start hitting your woman because
you can't
just because the heat.
Saying stressed out, and his son was like he ain't know what he was walking around with pumps. I mean, you coming up the steps with that
again. You can't start hitting people.
I'm just saying it's just weird.
Can't
How you process that?
It's weird, but you can't hit anybody. You can't hit anybody for that.
I'm just saying. I mean, you got to be a special dude to process that and be okay.
You can process it, but you can't hit anybody.
All right.
So my second one is Fred Sanford.
Heavens, have Fred going there.
Okay, let me just lay out his deeds. He called his son dummy every single day.
I think it was just
every single day
a term of affection. It was, and then Lamont was doing some dumb shit.
Nah, but imagine the therapist bills that Lamont had to deal with after Fred died. Like my dad. You asking yourself, did my dad love me? He called me dummy every day.
Yeah, you big dummy.
Yeah,
every day.
Then he disrespected his dead wife's sister every single day. Called her names. He was a bully. Like he, by definition, by y'all's young people definition, Fred was a bully. And lastly, he was a racist. He was rude and racist to the neighbor Julio, who used to come over. Julio was so nice.
Julio was
bring
nice.
him food, Mr. Sanford, bring him stuff, and he would talk shit about him. Fred was a grumpy old man.
First, you have to think about though what he went through. That was man. He was an entrepreneur in a time where they wasn't letting black dudes be entrepreneurs like that.
Junkyard.
Yes, he was a junk man. So that already in and of itself puts a certain level of curmudgeonness because of all the things he had to do in order to get his business off the ground.
But when it comes time to have your heaven or hell resume evaluated,
that count.
Do we count intent?
And you also leaving off the stress and the trauma. He lost his wife, Elizabeth. I mean, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, I know, if I lost my woman, I may turn into a little bit of that. That's
Are you going to call Robbie dummy every day?
I call him a lot of things. Now, worse than that. Keeping it real. Like, hey.
Yo, okay, all right.
All right, so I'm saying, I'm just going to say for what he had to accomplish and when he was a single parent, too.
Yeah.
Heaven. I got a heaven. Fred G. Hanford. I said Sanford.
All right.
What do you say?
I'm actually up in the air because I think, like, at the end of the day, like, if you screw your kids up, which I believe he did to Lamont.
Lamont was fine.
No, I don't think. I think Lamont was average. He was an ordinary average. He made average decisions.
But he loved his dad, though.
He loved his dad, but he wasn't dumb. But he was living in a junkyard. So
and he was living with his dad.
There's all that.
But they would make it, I mean, that's a junkyard they own.
Yeah, but it was a junk. He could have just showed up at the junkyard. You'd have had to live in that mug.
That's true.
They could have got an apartment down the street.
But maybe he was taking care of his daddy.
Move him too.
That's
Like
true.
y'all can move. They didn't have to live in.
There's a lot of, but you don't know what
that could
options
have been
was
the
available.
Office. That was could have been.
All right, you saw what they was pulling into. You seen that truck when it was coming on. It was hard out there.
Yeah. And Lamar, you gotta try harder, man. Get a better truck. Try harder. All
right.
What's your next one?
All right, so
Lamar, heaven or hell? He going to hell for being stupid.
Curtis Taylor from Dreamgirls.
Okay, give me the deeds.
Curtis Taylor. He got them off the ground. Got the label
Wait,
going.
was Curtis Taylor the songwriter or was he?
Curtis Taylor was on that's Jamie Foxx character. What he
So
did?
he was
What
like
he did
the
to
big
Effie?
Gordon- the
Yeah,
big-
what
the
he did
big-
to Effie?
Yeah.
What he did to Effie. Now he gave everybody a start. You know what I'm saying? But he also, when Effie had that One Night Only record, he pulled that off the shelf and gave it to what Beyonce character name was?
Diana.
Dirty Diana?
No, I mean it was basically a
Something like that.
Ross type character.
Yeah, and then I think, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. I think, after he did what he did to Jimmy Early when he was playing that new song, he called it a message record. And he was like, nah, we're not doing that. He was like, take that shirt off. You're embarrassing yourself. And then after that when, Jimmy Early took the, OD'd on the drugs. You know what I mean? I think he personally responsible because had he greenlit that record, which was a good record, it was a good record. But the portion I heard. I'm saying.
Bruh, okay.
Curtis Taylor, and then, and he hey, man, Curtis now, but like I said, he sold all his Cadillacs. Got me a Cadillac. He sold his lax and got the label all these, man. He was, hey, back then you had to do what you had to do. He had to step into the bad side. Hoo. So I think, I mean.
Are you literally singing the songs from the show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Step into gonna take me right. So that's when they were like doing all the payola to the DJs and stuff, and it was a pretty good scene transition.
None of that rises. Like some of that sounds just like leadership. like sometimes some of that sounds like leadership.
I mean, Effie
sometimes you gotta take the record from over there and put that record over there.
But
like,
Effie was living in a hovel. That was her one chance.
I mean, he wasn't trying to put her to sleep, but like sometimes that record is better off.
But it was a hit with Effie and them. Effie had an afro.
This one hits too close.
Effie had an afro, okay, with no product, no nothing, and wearing dashikis walking around. It was sandals on.
There's not a record executive.
Terrible.
There's not a record executive amongst us that hasn't had to weigh.
But why do you have to take it? It wasn't his song. He found that. I mean, he came across the record. He wasn't signed to her no more.
Hits matter.
Heaven or hell, Mark Stewart. It's too bad.
I think you put this out here just to trap me.
I ain't trying to trap you. I just
Trying to
saying,
trap me.
man.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna take
All right. Heaven or hell, Curtis Taylor.
Curtis Taylor.
Heaven. I'm gonna go hell on Curtis, man. He's rude, shrewd, man.
And Jimmy Early was embarrassing himself. He should have took that damn shirt off. That's leadership.
Hey, okay, but then green light the record. Say we're gonna do the
we
record,
need to
take the
we
shirt
need to-
off.
we
So
need to
then
do the
you it's
It's
high.
a message record. Everybody want to hear that.
You give it high.
Ain't nobody
okay?
hearing that.
We're gonna do this with you. And then when you tell him to take the shirt off, he happily take it off. Okay. He just take it off.
And I don't know. Sometimes it don't be like that.
The song was good, brother.
That sounds terrible. Okay.
He was super sad when he
Yeah, it was. He was crushed.
Yeah, and then shortly after that,
Yeah, he went on and
OD.
took a dip.
This shit
Yeah.
was terrible, man. Hey, R.I.P. to Jimmy Thunder Early. Sad as shit.
You're gonna take a moment of silence.
Yeah,
for
man.
Jimmy.
I think about Jimmy from time to time, man.
Yeah.
Like that shit was. I know it's fictional, but it meant something to me.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Okay, so this is my last one. So then you can take them from on in because I only did 3. This one's a little complex because it's gonna seem obvious on the surface. Quick from Harlem Nights. Now, Quick was a murderer. Quick killed his first person when he was 7 or 8 years old, when my man was plotting the intricate plot at the gambling spot. The toothless guy, he shot him there, in the very first scene of the movie. Then he killed Dominique LaRue after he smashed, which is some whole other gangster shit.
She pulled a gun on him.
She did. Then he didn't kill Tommy Smalls. Mr. Calhoun killed Tommy Smalls.
Yeah.
But he killed all of Tommy Smalls' boys.
He was going to visit Tommy.
Killed all of Tommy Smalls' boys, and except for one, but you could actually blame him for that because they was going to shoot Tommy, then they shot Junior on the way to kill Tommy.
They did shoot Junior.
They shot Junior in the back of the head with the machine gun.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And Arsenio was crying.
Yeah,
he was crying already, but then started crying more.
Then he was like, they shot Junior.
Yeah.
And they shot Tommy, right?
I just think that.
And no, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
He beat up a very large, buxom woman and then shot her in the foot.
She kept on though.
She did keep on, but to shoot you don't pull your gun on. Like she even said, I can't believe you pull your gun on me.
She challenged him to the fight.
She did, but you can't. If a woman challenged you to, if a buxom woman with all up in your face, if she try to fight you, you're just gonna be like, I ain't finna fight you.
It's different. Like, okay, so Jerome slammed a woman that was trying to get with Morris in a dumpster in Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Like, it's different back then. That's all I'm saying. And nobody said nothing. Nobody said anything about that's abuse. He literally slammed this woman in the dumpster. Nobody said a thing.
Right, but I'm
Prince
creating the context.
Mush Apollonia all in the face. Ain't nobody said Prince ladies man to this day. In his grave, he a ladies man.
And lastly, Quick killed. He was part of the plot to kill Mr. Calhoun and his entire gang in the explosion.
Correct.
So he got about, by my count, 13, 14 bodies. Now, the only thing I can say, and here's where the dilemma, because normally if somebody murders 13 to 14 people, we can all pretty much say they are going to hell. But everybody that Quick killed tried to kill him. Is there any justification? Dominique tried to kill him. Tommy Small's brother tried to kill him. Mr. Calhoun was trying to kill him and run him out of town. And even the buxom woman pulled a knife on him.
And challenged him to a fight.
But she pulled a knife. Like, challenge to a fight is one thing. You pull it, because he told her, he said, now you put that knife away, I'm gonna blow off your pinky. So that's what he told her.
And he kept his word, like a good man.
So he's a man of his word. He's a murderer, but he's also a man of his word. So because they were coming at him, and because that his life was threatened, was there justification? Does he get to go to heaven?
I'm gonna start off by just saying, first off, you talking about a child that was homeless.
Yeah.
Okay, he was homeless.
He started out behind the 8-ball.
He said, "Where you live?" He said, "I don't live nowhere."
Yeah.
So already he just coming up in the environment, and he's learning the game from killers. So obviously that's what he became. But like you said, he wasn't just out here on some Jack the Ripper. Like they were trying to conduct, and not only Calhoun was trying to kill him, they was also trying to put Sugar Ray's out of business.
Yeah.
So they were trying to kill him and take the bread.
Yeah.
So,
but they reopened Sugar Ray's somewhere else.
They could have, but
well, they did. I mean, that's why they were leaving. They were leaving to get the loot and then go and do their thing. So that part of it was cool. But they killed him knowing that if they didn't kill Calhoun and the gang, they would come after him.
LaRue would be alive today after the smashing if she didn't try to kill him.
That's what I said.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody that he
so
killed,
that's one less body.
or that he shot, came at him.
I would like to think in my heart that Quick is smiling down on us right now. So I'm gonna say
he was a snappy dresser.
He was and he had a nice product in his head.
And I was about to say, his hair looked good.
His hair looked real good.
He knew the champ.
Yep.
He was on first name basis with the champ.
First name.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of ladies around too.
And
pretty ladies. And even back then.
He was a loyal protector to Sugar Ray.
Oh, very loyal.
Loyal.
Yeah. And the whole gang.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, that's the type of dude I want next to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go definitely heaven, first ballot, and he got the good access. He ain't talking to Jesus.
Yeah, you can't have that many bodies
But he in there. He passed. Who I said just got in there, but the first who's in there? Anyway, he in there. He got like
up and through.
He got like the the bronze package.
Right. He just access.
He in there.
Yeah, he's in there.
He in there.
You got to pay for. Yeah, I was gonna make. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. You go. You got the rest. You got it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Precious Mama from the movie Precious.
See, I didn't see it.
You ain't see that one.
That movie aesthetically was just too. It just didn't look nice. It wasn't. I like pretty movies.
Me too. It didn't. It looked very depressing.
It looked.
Did y'all see Precious?
The trailer made me sad.
All right, so we'll move on from Precious. What about? Okay, how about this? What about Tony Montana from Scarface?
We already talked about him.
What about Michael Corleone?
We talked about him too.
We didn't talk about Michael Corleone.
Yeah, we did.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. I know we didn't talk about this one. Now this is veering off the fictional, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to bring it to the table. Craig Brewer, the director for Coming to America Part 2, Heaven or Hell. Craig Brewer.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you.
I'm just saying he absolutely, I think it's a part of covert attempt to take down Eddie. You know what I mean? That's what I think. How do you take?
It's so funny because we've had this sort of come up in previous podcasts where we've both admitted, and we're doing it now, where we would blame anybody else other than Eddie for Eddie's failures.
He directed it though, you know what I'm saying?
Eddie was like, at this point, Eddie is everything. He's
Eddie over here. He over here doing what? Okay, is it good?
No.
Yeah.
Like Eddie did that for 2 movies, Trading Places in 48 Hours. He been running the show ever since.
It say Craig Brewer on the directed.
Yeah, but if Eddie didn't want to do it, guess what? Craig wouldn't be directing it. Eddie signed off on that. He signed off on the script. He signed off on everything, right or wrong.
Nah, he ain't the director.
No?
The director. You gonna let Craig off the hook on this?
I'm not. If you're gonna put Craig on the hook, then you gotta put everybody else.
No,
I'm sure Craig is a lovely person. He's going to heaven.
He going to heaven for what he did to African American institution, a classic.
Well, then do you blame John Landis for Beverly Hills Cop 3?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so send him to hell too.
But John Landis directed.
John Landis, he did Trading Places.
He did Trading Places, and he didn't he direct the first Coming to America? Yeah. So he definitely got too many goods.
He took it all the way.
Yeah, and he directed Thriller. He directed Thriller. He's definitely in heaven.
And he did American Werewolf in London, I think.
I don't know. I know about that because I know that Michael liked that, so that's why he got to put that thing. You seen it?
Yeah, I'd seen that.
What it was doing in there? Was it good?
It was entertaining. It was some weirdo shit, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I'm scared of things turning into wolves and stuff, man. Like I don't like all.
But not 3-6 Mafia.
Nah, cause it's slob on my knob. Like I could get with that. Like I like saying that. You know what I mean? Like before, I used to call girl, I hope she slob on my knob. Hey, what's up?
We're definitely no longer. If we were ever a family show, we are no longer a family show. Although my family is in close proximity to this.
Yeah, and all that light skinned glory.
Wow, that's funny. What do you have any more? Do you have any more?
Let me see if I want to do any more. Have you seen Boys in the Hood?
Yes.
Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. Doughboy, it was Ice Cube's character.
Yeah, of course.
Heaven. So you said Heaven. So Doughboy, for those that don't know, he was the gangster brother. His brother Ricky was going to USC, and Doughboy was the gangster. I believe he was a Crip in that movie.
Did they ever really say who was? Did they ever identify Crips and Bloods in that movie?
Yes, they did.
They did.
But yes, because if you remember, the people who the guys who shot Ricky, they were Bloods.
Did they ever say that, or were we to assume that through the?
I think it's been a minute since I've seen the movie, but I think we assumed that. But I know that they had actually, I believe they had claimed some sets when they were on Crenshaw. If I'm not mistaken, at the car show.
Facts. Yeah.
But Doughboy, he avenged Ricky's death. He killed like 3 people. He ran up on him and found him, and he also let Trey out the car. But he was a gangster though.
He wasn't very nice to Ricky.
He was not very nice to Ricky. And he was taking folks to see dead bodies when they were little.
Ricky's mom was horrible to Doughboy.
She was. Yeah, because
he was Doughboy.
Because he was laying on the couch drinking 40s all day.
Yeah, he was doing gangster shit.
With a jerry curl.
I mean, there was a cause and effect. He was doing gangster shit. She liked Ricky because he wasn't.
He was mean to Regina King too.
He was very disrespectful.
at the
to
barbecue.
Ricky.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah,
that
hoes
was-
got to eat too.
Yeah. Hey, move, man. The hoes got to eat. Hey, that's messed up. That is messed
But I
up.
don't know if that's hell
But
worth.
when it came down to it, though, when the family needed for him to step up and avenge Ricky's death,
Did the family need that?
I think so. I mean, I needed it in the theater. I wanted him to die. You ain't want him to die. Cause Ricky, he was just drinking milk. How you gonna kill the man? You know what I'm saying? For drinking some milk. Well, that was retaliation for him. Them kind of like getting into it at the car show on Crenshaw.
Yeah.
But you ain't have to shoot his back out with a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay. I always wondered this: if Ricky's so fast and he going to USC,
Why?
yeah, why you ain't zigzagging? Why you ain't just dip?
Yeah,
Why you ain't
like-
just dip behind
Yeah.
go around the corner?
Yeah.
What you going out? You in the alley running straight.
Straight. Yeah, that
So-
was always my issue.
So you already got a pretty good aim. If you got the gun and you already in the alley, you
Yeah.
already able
yeah,
to
make him move that gun. Like, make
Yeah.
him, you know what I mean? You gotta, and I'm not even quick.
Yeah, so maybe
I still be, I'll be slow motion. Like,
yeah, I be dropping on the ground. I be tumbling, jumping up. I be
he would
looking.
still be easily get me. Look at this.
They be
nigga.
looking
He
like-
look at this nigga rolling.
I be looking like I'm doing parkour. I be all up on the walls. Boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
man.
think parkour is ridiculous, but I'll be doing it then. Though.
No, that's crazy because they could die.
Yeah.
Like they be like, I'll be looking at that parkour like, you could have died from that.
That's just some shit when you got like all your bills are paid.
Yes.
You ain't got
Mom and dad
everything is
got
cool.
the 401k.
I want to
Everything's
jump
settled.
from this scaffold onto this platform
Yeah.
and then flip. Like, why? What after that, then what?
And what if you miss?
And they be missing. They be missing. They be like, oh, I broke my back trying to. Like, what's the payoff? What's the payoff for being a dope ass parkour dude? Anyway, point is, so Doughboy, heaven or hell? Doughboy going to heaven. But I also think that he could have sat that one out. But like, his dumb ass should have zigzag. I ain't finna go kill them. Like, I'm not doing that.
I think I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go against what I would normally do. I'm gonna go with heaven because I do think that whether he knew it when Ricky was alive or not, he loved his brother,
He did love his brother. He loved his
and
brother.
that was his way of showing his
And
love.
he tried to take care of his son, which is his, Doughboy's nephew,
Yeah.
saying, "Give me the baby."
yeah, he don't
He don't
need
need to be
it. He
seeing
don't
this.
need to be
And
seeing
why
it.
did them mugs bring? Okay, no, he might need to go back to hell. Why you gonna drive the body to the crib and bring him inside? Drive him to the hospital. Ricky may have still went to USC, been in the NFL. You never know what his future could have been. You don't know what and you took him to the house.
Ricky took like 4 huge shotgun blasts to the torso, though. I don't know if he was coming back from that. That looked like a rabbit.
Okay, true. But if he get hit with the same thing, you driving him to the house and land him on the couch and tell him, look, daddy, or you gonna take him to Grady?
I don't know if that's hell worthy, but
I'm saying no. I'm not saying hell worthy, but I'm just saying, bruh. You and then like and you laid him on the couch. Like, okay, you drive him any place but to the crib
Well,
and lay him on the couch
but where he supposed to take him?
to the hospital at a minimum.
Yeah, I get that. Well, listen, man, this is a good time to break.
You saying heaven?
I'm gonna say heaven
I don't want to say
because I think his killing of the gang members,
yeah,
the gang members,
yeah.
was out of love.
And his way of showing love.
It was his way of showing love. It's a
And
gangster's
then-
expression of love.
And then in the end, he just seemed repentant for the whole lifestyle.
yeah,
Either they don't know,
like either they don't know,
they don't show,
show.
or they don't care about what's going on in the hood. And he was like, he looked at the news, he's like, they ain't say nothing about my brother on the news last night.
Yeah,
But you just cooling on the porch after murdering 3 people with the 40, like. I mean, I guess that's how it goes down out there.
yeah. I think.
Hey, anyone from Compton, let us know. Is that how it still
I
goes
just think
down?
that's hood life. I don't even know if that's specific to that region. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's true. That's
it might
true.
just be. I don't know.
Hey, somebody killed my brother. I don't know what I'm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't. It's a rage. You know what I mean?
And then they showed him he had just passed the test to get into USC.
Yeah,
Or his
the-
mama
the-
was
the-
crying,
the
holding
SAT.
him. Why even open it? Just don't.
Because it's a movie.
But so if he would have failed, did she feel better?
Let's cut it. That's a great place to end. Listen, we thank y'all for tuning in. If you are still listening right now, God bless you. Please hit us and subscribe, hit like, and get the notifications on our YouTube channel, which is statlinesmatter. And also you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at statlinesmatter. And and tell your friends. Like, if you mess with us, let people know that we're here. We're doing something really great. Rob is, doing some amazing things. Follow him on his own channel called Laugh with Rob Hunter, where he's doing skits, he juggling, he doing all kind of stuff over there. He's
Unicycle too.
Unicycle. He got a
ventriloquist.
Yeah, he don't move his mouth.
Yeah,
But
it's just my hand though.
It's just his hand though. He don't have a puppet. He just do his hand.
What are you doing? Slap on up like corn on the cob.
Yo, this is Rob Hunter. I'm Mark Stewart.
Peace.
This is Stat Lines Matter.
Bad boy. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face.